my gosh, y'all.
Hi, I'm R.H. Snow, author of the Prometheus Award-nominated post-apocalyptic sci-fi western saga, Watcher the Damned, and its associated tabletop role-playing game, System and Star. And I'm coming to you live tonight from the boudoir of audaciousness in the double eye of doom to say I'm not letting this makeup go to waste. I'm going to make a video right now. That's right, it's midnight. It's in the middle of the night. But I gotten together some friends and they were like, hey, you want to get on a stream? And I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. So I went and I put my lipstick on, but then he had to go to bed and I was like, oh man, I just missed it. So here I am, I'm all made up. So let's talk a little bit about what I've been doing all day. Okay, so I have been working on Caballeros Camino. I'm almost finished and I had a really tough section that I've been working on for about 2 months that has to do with post-apocalyptic Houston. That's right, we're having a lot of fun out of the Houston shipping canal. And with everything that's been going on with barges and bridges and all the other stuff, it's been really kind of interesting to start reading about shipping canals and how they work and everything. And I'm a Texas girl, but I've always been based out of Dallas. Don't hate me. Actually, North Texas, to be specific, sort of out in that little area, and Central Texas. Now, I've always been in the hinterland, so to speak, usually out in the woods or sort of out on the prairie, but when you went somewhere, you'd always go to Waco or to Dallas. Well, as I've moved into Central Texas, I've ended up going to Houston a bunch more, and it's just fascinating to me to see all the canals and everything and how it works, and having so much fun trying to figure out how this would look like in a post-apocalyptic world. And one of the things we're looking at most is the effect of the Houston industrial waterfront on the channel itself. If you think about a world where people no longer exist, when there's no longer people there, what's going to happen to all that equipment? It's kind of spooky to think about it. And one of the things I really wanted to incorporate in this was kudzu. Kudzu, if you don't know, if you haven't lived in East Texas, especially deep East Texas, it kind of takes over everything and it loves to run rampant. And I asked myself, what would a city look like covered in kudzu? Especially a big old tall building. Can they actually get to the top? Can those things take place? Now, I just finished writing this section today and I'm going to put some bleeps in it so that way we don't have some big spoilers. But I wanted to I love this section so much and I wanted to share this with you because it's the first time we've really gotten to go into an urban area and get involved with that incredible landscape that's going to take place when all the humans have passed on except for a very few. And so here I'm going to read to you about leaving Houston. Peering up through the leaves, dragged a scuffed leather jacket from the back of the wooden raft. He slipped the patched sleeves over sinewy forearms to ward against the chill. Cold rain was drizzling down between infinite towers of kudzu, vine-draped remnants of skyscrapers rising from the city center behind him. The virulent vines crept along the downed power lines and leaning light poles, shrouding the streets to hide the city's bones, leapfrogging from structure to structure to make Houston a city of green. The weight of the twining stems downed beams and structures, creating tunnels of leaves from Bastrop Bay to Burnett Bay, up Buffalo Bayou and beyond. The leafy marauder overwhelmed all obstacles until at last all in the H-Town haunts bowed down to King Kudzu. As nurturing as she was brutal, nature let kudzu do her work, filtering out the smoky haze of perpetual chemical plant fires to create pleasant canopies of dappled light beneath their branching vines. From time to time, the kudzu tunnels would open into islands of trees and open spaces where native live oaks and prairie coastal plains still clung to life, plant against plant, fighting each other even as the clans did, daring to live another day without succumbing to their woody foes. I hope you like that. I just love this part. I love abandoned places. I love abandoned homes and churches and old buildings that have so much life still imbued in their structure, where you can feel the people that were there before you. And when you're in an environment like this where everything's just falling apart, the world has become taken over by nature trying to fight back against those millennia of humans, And at the same time, there's this sadness to it of all the people who are gone, of all the people who are no longer there. And so you have these two worlds rubbing together. Nature versus mankind, bones versus bones, the bones of cities and the bones of people becoming taken back into the loving bosom of Mother Nature, turned back into soil, turned back into the place which we come from, the dust of life. And so I wanted to explore this with you tonight, to just have some fun with that. I've spent so much time writing this and dreaming of this world, and it's now really coming true. And it's going to be coming out in Caballeros de Camino, as we have a certain faction coming up from Houston. How are they going to escape all of these burning fires, all of this devastation, and how are they going to get out without getting caught in the middle of all of that trouble and turmoil? We'll see. And you're going to get to read about it this year. This is going to be published this year. In fact, it should be published before the end of summer if we're blessed and if all goes well. And so I'll be getting this book ready for you, and it should be out, we hope, by the end of August. So I love you, and I will talk to you later. And until next week, this is RH Snow. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.